Hey, Dan Meyer here, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. So instead of me talking about how cool of a tool Flimora is to create videos, to create the videos you see on my site and a lot of my clients' videos, my son actually is one of my staff. He does virtual work for me, and he's one of our video editors, and he's going to walk you through how he creates one of the videos that we use here on YouTube and goes across social media. So he uses an app called Flimora. He'll talk about that. He'll talk about the steps he takes to create these videos, something that you can do for yourself, or you can hire one of our VAs like Ethan to do for you. So sit back and enjoy this conversation about how to make video magic.
Alrighty then. Okay. Well, hello everyone. My name is Ethan Meyer, and I mainly produce the video content for Sonic VA. And I have a very similar process, very simple process, excuse me. And I predominantly just use that to make the content the I way my Dan Meyer likes it. And we've got 600 something subscribers at the recording of this video, and I'm proud that I'm able to help my father reach out to people, and people seem to be enjoying it. So I'm going to give you guys just a few basic tips, do a little very basic rundown, nothing very specific. And I'll start my screen share, and there we go. So is everyone seeing it correctly? Is it going? Okay. So first tip is always know your client style. Jen touched up a little bit on this earlier, but I always you should always know what your client wants. Like if you see the example picture here, my dad has a very specific color scheme. It's in bullet points. It's this nice blue and green color palette. I try and use that as much as I can. He speaks on stage, so he's used to giving a PowerPoint talk. So that's the way I structure his videos, as sort of a digital PowerPoint presentation with a little more pizzazz and magic thrown in, just to kind of make it more interesting than your standard PowerPoint. So the second tip is tools of the trade. These are the two tools I use specifically. Wondershare is the company that owns both Flimora 9 and UniConverter. UniConverter is not as important, but I use it to get one of the most important tools when making the video is the audio recording. And then Flimora does all the heavy lifting. This is where all the tinkering and time goes into, and it's, I like it. It's not free per se. If you have something that's free and does what you like doing, I would go for that, but these are the two tools that I use. They're what get the job done for me. All right, and next we have always have an audio copy. This is one of the most important things you can have in any video, because what happens is, the way Flimora works is if you want a slide on top of something, it can cut off the audio unless you want to get very, very technical. It's always easier if you just go to UniConverter and rip the audio off of the video downloaded and use that as the basis. So is everyone seeing the app? Does it check the app right here? Okay. So in here, it has a couple settings. The most important one is video converter for this.
Yeah. Hey, Ethan, we still just see the PowerPoint slide. We don't see the app.
Oh, okay. Good catch. Let me share. There we go.
Yep, now we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So with UniConverter, you're able to do a multitude of things, but the most important thing is the video converter. So I'm going to grab the video and just plop it in here real fast just to show it off real quick. And I would just normally click convert, and it's set to go to the exact same folder, so I always have it prepared exactly where I want it. And I'm not going to do it now because I already did it beforehand, but it drops in a folder, and then you go to Flimora, new project, share.
There you go.
And this is the home page. And I'm going to drop that in there. And normally the video and the files all go in here in one nice little convenient area. And I use this to kind of keep my station clean. That's the wrong image, but everyone understands. There's different stuff. Okay. And then the next tip, sorry, one moment. The screen is kind of wacky, but basically what I try and do next is save often, because my computer has had a lot of mishaps. Everyone has computer mishaps. Everyone has crashes. It's very common. So just please always save as often as possible. And with Flimora, the way it works is there's a little file that's created, and it's a one-time checkpoint. So what you want to do is just save that checkpoint as often as possible. Know that you can't go back though. So make sure if you save it, it's exactly what it is. And then get some catchy music. This is one of the things that annoys me the most when I watch some people, is they just have the most generic and commercial sounding music possible, and it's not very pleasing, if you ask me. So I did a little bit digging, and I have my dad, I threw in some music, and he likes this very jazzy sounding kind of hip hoppy soundtrack. It sounds good. It's always been a pick of mine. But another thing is, just don't ever get like something copyright. Don't get a Taylor Swift song. Don't get a Lady Gaga song. YouTube's pretty on point when it comes to capturing people's music. So I just always try and find something that's a little more low key, that doesn't involve a lot of sound record. It doesn't involve a lot of copyright hoops to jump through. Just something kind of basic. Just a nice, pleasant intro. And that's the other thing. I always make it a 30-second intro and a 40-second outro to match our graphics at the end. And here's something that I'm shocked always surprises people when it does. What's really nice about Flimora is it has this little thing. If you go to adjust audio, fade in, fade out. This allows the music to just seamlessly fade into the background. It's a really pleasing effect. And for some reason, every time I've shown this to my dad when we first got it, or a few clients, they're like, wow, the music like transitions really nicely. Yeah, it always works, and it makes good intro and outro music that way. Starts and stops whenever you need it. Oh, I see a pip. Where do I get royalty-free music? I just kind of search around. Like, there's a lot of people on YouTube that have royalty-free music. YouTube itself has its own library. I mainly just go to the Wondershare website. They have a few packs. Even then, I kind of just dig around. I don't really have a specific spot to get royalty-free music. I kind of hop around. I mainly use YouTube though, and make sure it's not something copyrighted. And I always check the description. It's like, oh, if this is someone's, say, oh, it's okay. Just give me the mention. Oh, this music's by me in the description. I always try and do that, but I haven't had to use that. But it's a tip I've learned over the years. And another important thing I do a lot is have template slides. These are slides that I reuse over and over again, because they're what my dad would normally put in a PowerPoint for, this is the type of things the VAs do. What are some things that you don't find, necessary to your business and you want to give to a VA? We talk about this in almost every single video. So I always try and keep track of these. And thankfully, Flimora actually has a tool that does that by itself in these little folder tabs. It's right here, shared media folder tab, second to load. And it just has a library of all the images I reuse, all the company logos when you talk about Amazon, Wells Fargo, all that. It just pops up in here, and I can just click, drag, and drop, and it's ready to go and done. Just offhand at any time. Looping a flag. And it saves a lot of time, Instead of always having to research that one specific thing I've been looking for, it's right there. Another one is put some sizzle into it. Me and my dad, we're nerds. Nerds make more money, right? And we like a lot of stuff. I like Michael Jackson. I like video games. I like Sonic. So I try and my dad likes Star Trek, and he made a reference. You have to be planning ahead. I put the picture of 4D chess from Star Trek. It's a nice little reference that shows you got a little personality. But always, always double check this stuff with your client. Make sure they're okay with it. If they want super professional, don't do anything. If they want to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of a little bit of personality touched up, throw something in there. I always try to do something. And one of my last points is always, 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 always double check, because a lot of times you are editing something, you're switching it around, and then all of a sudden something you did is misplaced or randomly got deleted or has the wrong setting on it. So every time before I save, before I publish the video, before I do something drastic, like maybe I want to put this graphic over this specific image for this amount of time, I always try and double check it. And thankfully, it has an undo button, but it's only a few clicks, so just keep track of everything. And go back. It's just kind of a very specific, I always, because this is actually what I do. This is the reason I have the audio done like this. As you guys watch this. See it cut off. Like something like that happens, and you think, oh no, I got, thankfully the undo button saves me. So doesn't want to work today. There it goes. And this is just kind of a test one I threw together, but normally after about hour, 2 hours, no save, please. It's fairly long, fairly complex, but it's a bunch of moving cogs that all work together. And I always do my best to double check everything. Always do my best to make sure everything's exactly my dad likes it. I like it exactly how the client wants it. And this is taking a while. And I just do my best to provide the service I want to provide. So it's pretty much over. While this is loading, does anyone have any questions? I'll take questions. It's pretty much the end of the talk. So.
How long does it take to make a video out of about 10 minutes of raw footage?
10 minutes? It depends. No, if I had to give just a basic summation, maybe about hour and a half, because sometimes the slides are very simple. It's very easy to follow topic. A lot of time, or if it requires a lot of images, your client talks about a lot of company names, Amazon, Facebook, YouTube. It can get kind of complicated in terms of how many layers I have to do. Like right now, this is normally a 4-layer video. Sometimes I've had to do like 7 layers just to get like a bunch of company logos on the screen all at once. But yeah, it can take a while, but thankfully I have all the images in my spot. I have all the reused images. That definitely cuts down on like searching time. That definitely easy saves me about maybe 10 minutes of just, where's that thing? Where is it? I always try and keep it all in one spot. Any other questions? Want to text or open the mic?
All right, everyone, this is your chance to ask any questions you have. Don't be shy.
What is the system requirements for Flimora? I'm using them for PC. I actually don't know, but I'm using a Mac, and from my experience of trying to find apps for Macs, it's not great. So the fact that this does work for Mac is pretty good. So I'm assuming it's fairly low, and and you can customize it too. Like most of our videos are at 720p, and that's what my dad's camera outputs to. So it can take, it scales. I also have a personal YouTube channel, and I've had to do 1080p at 60 frames per second footage, so it's very customizable. If it's something really intensive, you can tone it down a little bit, though maybe not too much, because then the video gets kind of blurry. And then YouTube itself already has an automatic tone down automation system for the screen resolution just when it uploads to YouTube, so it runs on an old iPhone. Is there a subscription? Yes. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but it is a decent chunk of change, but per year there is a subscription, and same thing for UniConverter as well. But they are what I get the job done. If you personally have something that is cheaper or free that does what your client needs, go for it. This is just what I use to get the job done.
All right, Dan Meyer back, and thanks again to Ethan for making that tutorial, which we use to train some new virtual assistants on how to do video editing. And I wanted you to see that behind the scenes, right? So this is what it takes. It's not that complicated. It just takes practice and time to be able to crank out a video. In that 20 minutes or so that Ethan walked you through on that video, it was kind of like the short version. It takes about an hour or two to crank out a 10-minute video for me. So that's kind of the general rule of thumb. If you want to hire one on my team, want to hire a virtual assistant to do something like Ethan did with your raw content, take you speaking into the camera, take that raw content and package it with music and intro and outro slides and graphics, and then be able to put it out there on YouTube for you and share across social media, we can do that. So go to our website, sonicva.com, sonicva.com, or drop a comment below and say, hey, we want someone to make a video for us. We love the way you make videos. We want someone to do that for our business. I need that in my business. If that's you, drop a comment or go to sonicva.com and send us a message. And we will do the same for you that Ethan showed how he did for me. We will create magic for your business through the cool things that we can do with video editing. Thanks for your time. Now go out there and have a great day.